NCIA, changing lives.
One person at a time.
So at NCIA, as an organization, we're different. Our mission is to empower people that don't have a lot of opportunities. We help them build lives. That leads to stronger communities, and we do it with unconditional support.
The founders were very intentional about second chance opportunities. And we've been very fortunate in having people that have had second chance opportunities and have flourished with that opportunity. The mission and the history go hand in hand together. If you don't understand the history, you can't understand the mission. And so in 1977, NCIA began. The co-founder was a man named Jerome Miller, and he had closed the juvenile facilities in Massachusetts in the 60s. That's unheard of, to close juvenile facilities in the 60s. There was a young man in Buffalo, New York, Herb Holter, who was following him and wanted to work for him. He had just gotten his master's degree in social work. And so in 1977, they started work in Washington, D.C., but the emphasis was only on criminal and social justice. They wanted to influence public policy. They wanted to influence how people were being treated in the criminal and juvenile justice system. And they were very, very passionate about what they did. They also did alternative sentencing. They would go to court, present the case, and they were given an alternative to being incarcerated. This is how NCIA comes to Maryland. It was not in Maryland before. The Montrose School was a juvenile facility out in Reisterstown, Maryland. The facility was horrible. The children weren't being treated properly. And Schaefer, if you knew Schaefer, he wanted it closed immediately. And so they wanted to find out who could do this work to close it. I came on board in 1987 because I was one of the original persons that closed the Montrose School. A lot of people wanted to do studies on how we closed the facility. So then we did the Hickey School. We did depopulation in Washington and Hawaii, Delaware, all over the United States. In 1990, I left NCIA. That's when the DDA program started. And it's still going on. And because of that, and you all are keeping it going, I met this young lady when I first came back, and it was her. It was her.
Me.
We work very, very well together. The building that you're in right now, she and I were responsible for getting the money to have this building built. We're doing good because she was able to navigate and understand not-for-profits, and so out of her vision to establish us being strong, being able to support things that were going bad, you all are in a good place. Even though she and I will be leaving, NCIA is going to continue on.
Our culture at NCIA is defined by our values, and it supports our mission.
The most important thing that I would convey to the new employee, they're going to be held accountable, but they're going to also have to work in the confines of team. The mission supersedes the individual, but the mission is always there, and they have to embrace the mission and be able to enact the mission.
Our values include changing lives with compassion.
Compassion comes from the heart, and the heart is all that you have. It's emotional, it's spiritual, it's intellectual, and so that's why compassion is the driving component to work with individuals.
Result-driven accountability.
That means that you have to be held accountable. This is not some loose operation here, that at the end of the day, there has to be some degree of accountability, be it in writing or be it in your social reform, so to speak.
Respect.
Treat each individual as if it is your own. And I think that's the respect that we all try to convey to our staff.
Transparency and integrity.
You do what is right even when no one is watching, because it's the right thing to do. And that's what it's all about, the right thing to do, all the time.
And collaborative learning and growth.
Collaborative learning and growth is working together for a better outcome. The mission has always been this. NCIA began with spirit.
Courage.
That which you can't see. Yeah. The spirit that we're going to treat each individual as if it's your own. And if you do that, you'll be all right.
NCIA, when it was started, it was an advocacy group. We were down in Washington, D.C., and they did a lot of political advocacy. Then they came to Maryland and they started shutting down a lot of the institutions. When Herb and Jerry started shutting down these institutions and placing people into the community, there were a group of people that nobody wanted. So the programs that we have at NCIA were founded because there was a need to support those that are most vulnerable, people who don't have opportunities or support. And we give them the opportunities. We support them in the community. We help change their lives, build their lives. And that makes better communities, and we do it with unconditional support. Welcome to our team.
Welcome to our mission.